that I assumed the presidency. As I came to power peacefully, so shall I keep it. That is my contract with my people and my commitment to God.
Corazon Aquino's speech during the joint session of the U.S. Congress.
Cory Aquino was born as Maria Corazon Somolong Cuangco on January 25, 1933, in Tarlac Province, north of Manila. She belonged to a wealthy and politically prominent family in 1954. She graduated Mount St. Vincent College in New York City with a bachelor degree in French and mathematics. In 1955, she abandoned further studies to marry Benigno Simeon Aquino Jr., who was then a promising young politician. They had 5 children, 4 daughters, and 1 son. Later on, her husband became a prominent oppositionist of Ferdinand Marcos, hence he was jailed for 8 years during the Marcos administration 1972 to 1980. And February 1886, when Ferdinand Marcos called for presidential election, Cory Aquino runs for the oppositionist presidential candidate. Cory Aquino was a Filipino politician who served as the 11th president of the Philippines, becoming the first woman to hold that office.
Content analysis. Understanding the historical information. References. Identify and describe the content of the primary source. The poster boy for anti-Marcos movements to her husband. Former Senator Ninoy Aquino, whom the Filipino nation had assigned as in the first part of her speech. She acknowledged the speaker, Senator Thurmond, and the distinguished member of Congress. She reiterated her grief when she left America to bury her husband 3 years before her presidency. She said that she had returned as the president of free people. She detailed about her husband's struggles, how it affected their family, and its impact on the nation. She talked the first time she lost her husband 14 years ago after Marcos implemented the martial law that suspended the Constitution and shut down the Congress, and how Marcos detained Benigno and thousands of others who had spoken for the democracy.
She also elaborated how painful it was for her and her children to permanently lose the foundation of their home. Her husband and the father of her children, however, Ninoy Aquino's death was the Philippine resurrection and the courage and faith by which alone its people could be free again. She quoted Archibald MacLeish, who had said that democracy must be defended by arms when it is attacked by arms, and with truth when it is attacked by lies. After which she spoke how he failed to say how it shall be won. We shall fight for honor. If only for honor, we shall pay. She emphasized that the fight they started was not wasted, and it was not a nonsense one. That day, the Filipinos put up a good fight against the administration. Moreover, she also included in her speech the happenings during the presidential election year 1986, how the Filipinos united to go against the Marcos regime that has burdened them for more than a decade. It was a declaration that the country and its people finally gained freedom. The task had fallen on my shoulders to continue offering the democratic alternative to our people.
She took the responsibilities in taking care and fighting for the sake of freedom of the whole country. However, shortly after being victorious against the dictatorship of Marcos, the Philippines was still reckoning with everything his administration had inflicted, that included 26 billion in total foreign debt, and a communist insurgency that grew throughout the Marcos era, from 500 armed guerrillas to 16,000. The country was just at the start of long road to recovery. Hence, by detailing the state of country, the Congress, her speech also lodged an appeal for help or for financial assistance in restoring full constitutional government and for recovering the economy of the country.
Aside on its analysis with this question, what are the factors that would have influenced the author in the writing of the document? The speech of Corazon was influenced by the situation of the country after the Marcos administration. The country was left in an open situation for over more than 1 decade. This caused the Filipino citizens to be left and be burdened with the debt committed by Marcos during his regime, which they did not receive any benefit from it. The death after the martial law was only starting to settle, but the Philippines was reeling with everything Marcos administration had inflicted. That included $26 billion in total foreign debt and a communist insurgency that grew throughout the Marcos era from 500 armed guerrillas to 16,000.
The Philippines had no enough means to compensate for the debt. Instead of Corazon, Aquino filed an appeal for financial aid from the United States Congress. Moreover, since the Filipino people had really fought hard against the administration to free the country and as well themselves, Corazon wanted to preserve the freedom that Filipinos want for themselves. Therefore, in her speech, she also expressed her plea and helped to aid the Philippines financial in its road to constitutional and economic recovery. She delivered a historic speech that managed to sway in our favor vote for an emergency $200 million aid appropriation.
The document is relevant in the Philippine history, especially in the diplomatic and political history, since this has arguably cemented the legitimacy of the EDSA government in the international arena. Moreover, the ideology of the new democratic government can also be seen in the same speech. Furthermore, this document contributed to the Philippine history as it also traced back the first step.
Honored him by that brave and selfless act of giving honor. A nation in shame recovered its own. A country